Could you, and if this is your field of knowledge, could you expand on some of those lies or some of that misinformation that's out there, especially to do with healthcare? Because I think that would be really useful if you feel comfortable to, yeah.
I mean, I can do my best, I guess. But I mean, the idea that children's bodies are being mutilated, flat out lie, just literally not true. The idea that puberty blockers are experimental, no, they've been used for decades for children who have precocious puberty. And this care is sort of framed as something that's like very easily accessible and immediate. Not the case at all. Most trans people have an incredibly difficult time accessing care. It's not how it's being framed in terms of this, as if it's getting like pushed. It's like the opposite. And this is like a very thorough, patient process that deeply involves the parents, of course, and so much of the care for children or young kids is just about supporting them, supporting a social transition, potentially, name change, pronoun change, how they might want to dress, cut their hair, whatever, very basic aspects of how we exist and how we're alive. And then the moment a child starts to show any sort of characteristic of puberty, that's when the conversation, weighed out conversation with all the information everybody involved about puberty blockers, which can stop. And then, if that's the choice, or continue potentially to hormones. And then when we're talking about any kind of, surgical aspect, nothing like that is happening until the age of typically 18, in some cases 16. But so I guess that's like the bulk of what I see is this idea that children are getting like mutilated or brainwashed or in environments that are forcing it. It's the opposite, actually. Trans and gender nonconforming people are bullied, deal with disproportionate violence. So much of that is just literally not true.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, no, it's useful because, yeah, I think that the challenges with all of this is, like you said, there's so much information that it's hard for, misinformation and information, that it's hard for people to kind of hear about things effectively. And we hope that these conversations like this can lead to people doing their own research, finding the right sources so that they can actually be able to make sense of, something that they may not understand as well, as opposed to having an assumption based on broad, generalized headlines or titles.
Or just hearing people that have I'm always like, oh, I didn't know you were a medical professional. You're not talking about any other sort of medical care in this way when it's supported by every major medical institution in the United States.